I actually redesigned this area to look as if though it was starting to cover with snow because it was more plot relevant. But I guess not anymore. Anyway, we're going back into Leia, and I'm going to use some cheats of walk through walls because I really don't want to have to deal with anything right now. Of course, I think she... I have to explain to you, bring the book with you. I also request shoot their sphere, knowing that you are directly involved. Vadil, or however. Okay, so here's the other thing I want to describe, of course. If you never interacted with Lauren as Clayton, she eventually gives you flowers, and the flower to give to him because it was important for later on as well. I guess by now, Leia became more of a hub for the player. And it's not that I dislike that or however, it's just I don't like backtracking as much as the next player. And there were such thing as town scrolls I was going to do, but if I were to do that, it could actually screw up airships and all that later on in the game. And that's not something I wanted to do to players. So, I just ended up removing that. Skipping through this, because we don't need to go through it. Yes, there was actually an area you explored before you ended up coming to the other side, but I just eventually said, you know what, no. I ended up deleting this map entirely, and just moving the particular object that you would eventually find here onto the other previous map. I'll demonstrate the object by the time I get it. Which is right here. I think it worked out better in the long run. This area just, I don't know, it felt uneventful, it felt unnecessary. So it just eventually got eliminated. There is no minigame. That wasn't implemented until I did the interface for Gamma. This area kind of serves as a hub of, oh, you forgot things. Mithril gun. You know, every single time I think of Mithril gun, I think of Final Fantasy Tactics and Mustadio, or... Is it Mustadio? I have no idea how to pronounce his name. Mustadio was the main like guy who got you Cloud, and when I was a kid, I didn't really know that. Smart me. I'm smart. Look how smart I am, me. I guess I really didn't like Cloud that much. I just didn't like Mustadio when I was younger. I don't know why, but you know how it is. As you get older, you end up really liking things you end up hating, just like, the Necromancer. I had remember the choice of putting Ellen's equipment for more as accessory, because when I think of clothes and dresses, they are armor to me. If people make dresses armor, there's something wrong with them. Though I like the idea of them, you know, being like, oh, you can make it into armor, no. That's not something I'm not really interested in. And I'm gonna go and explain the Easter eggs in Gamma when I get around to playing that too. And of course you can't find the guy who was once here saying, oh, I can bring you across the sea. Yeah, that'd be kind of complicated, wouldn't it? So I just made it to where Luther doesn't really respond. And you got this chick right here. Don't worry about traveling too far if you've got something. This store has everything you need. Did I ever change that? A little bit. Vigo's Pass has been through several changes. Like several. It's more of a mountainous-like area, but you know, whatever, it worked. It didn't have the, the bird that you would eventually fight. That he was implemented into Gamma. Normally it would oversee Leia, as you guys would know in Alpha, but that never became a thing. And so this was to do an important part, and so I think Luther was to redo that by the time he returned. There are no encounters on the world map. I hate when people do that. An almost instant change in climate. Now here's something I never re-implemented. Snow at the part of this world during this time of year? I wonder if the seer had something to do with this. There's only one way to know for sure. Then to climb, no choice to follow Clayton's trail. But you'll freeze in your attire. Here, take my cloak. Best you stay warm. Hang on, if I wear this a certain way, my wings won't keep me afloat. Can't you walk? It's not that, it's that I wouldn't be able to keep up with you, Luther. Alright, come on, Miss Boozy. I don't know if I want to re-implement that. But, you know, I might. I just haven't made up my mind about it. Shows a little character to Luther, I guess. that's right. Beta 1.0 set the music of Alpha, so that's the reason also why I didn't want to have to make you guys suffer through it. Yeah, the Earthstones didn't have their own thing by now yet, or however. So it's something that I wanted to do with the trees. I thought it would be interesting. But it never happened. I love the music that I acquired for my game. I didn't do the music, but of course, people around me did. And I'm very thankful I found the right resources to be able to do that for me. And though my own crew, my own team didn't want to do it, I was just so negative. Oh, I don't understand. I'm using other people's music, blah blah blah. But then I came to agree to disagree. You know, if I could use somebody's music, you know, or from DLC that everybody can go and acquire from what you would find on the store, I say, you know, I might as well give them a lot more variety if I ever release this game and whatever else, and that's kind of stuck with me because then I wouldn't be so negative about everything, and, you know, it would just go on, and that's it, you know, and there's just a certain charm that I accepted, that I'm like, you know, might as well. Not the end of the world if I can't use music as I intended or whatever. I make resources, I make them work. And I want to make them work because my love for this game is unlike no other. Unlike no other. Because I'm doing it for Clayton. Now people will, of course, counter argue with me and say, oh, but he's dead, why are you doing it for a dead man? Now this whole area was designed after the Not Ordeals in Final Fantasy IV. I thought that was a note to make, however. Not entirely necessary, but a little fun little trivia, however. Save point's still here, though. You're still here, too. I like the fact that you can see actually Luther's armor in this and all that, where he's not wearing his cape and has it over Ellen. I also made it to where in Gamma, the light up squares that you see and you step on, I wanted them to light up as they followed you, but that's gonna be a task and a half in order to let it react to how players touch them. I think that would have to work with conditional branches. Here's the Earth Tower, which of course was redesigned. There are the main books that stayed the same, but the whole indication of experiments and all that, it wasn't a thing. At first I wanted to be like, oh, I can make it as if though there was some sort of slaughter or manslaughter or something in this tower, and it just never worked out. It became its own little sci-fi thing, which I liked better, I guess would be a way to say it. I love the art of the sci-fi background stuff, but I haven't decided as to what I want to do with a lot of the backgrounds yet. I was more focused on getting Gamma released that I had to go in and drop everything because I knew that I needed to get more funding. So what I did instead was that I focused on it more than necessary, and proceeded to just give the world what I knew I was making. Of course, them not knowing of the long struggles I had before was a big thing. I'll need to find a key to open this. I like that noise from Resident Evil. Memory crystal. I may use this design in the fire tower or later on, or however. But at the same time, Everything that I design has its good and bads. And the Earth Tower became more of a prominent thing when I made Ivan more of what he was now, I guess would be the way to put it. Let's walk through the door, huh? Of course, Ivan being introduced in a very aggressive manner. Has the gracious Lord Ludwig lead his land to slaughter? Cease your attacks. I am not your renounced enemy. Then you have been deceived. Your companion bears the colors of Lord Samuel, Ludwig's new god. Of course, Ivan at this point doesn't know about who Ellen is, I guess would be the way to say it, but Luther having to react really need to at this point. Being that, it was not a good thing for Luther at the time. Then are you one of Ludwig's knights, attempting to acquire more power from the other spheres? Stand down, mage. Allow us to explain. I am not a mage. I am an alchemist. My name is Ivan Noel. I am not like my superiors. Were you the ones responsible for creating the elemental spheres of the gods? I was told by Elemental Guardian that if you were to search for the Earth Sphere, then I was to seek out what lies in Dekia Cave. And our experiment was a success. Was I too late in activating the spell? Has Lord Majel lost his strength? Yes, the cavern was sealed. Scribbles of notes left behind. Sword of the Red Moon and Shield of Wolf's Bane. I am Sir Luther Enric of the Merchant Knights. Then you have my permission to retrieve the shield and accomplish your mission how you see fit, Luther. Of course, the terms and conditions that I would travel with you very well. But not before you explain your doing and what your purpose of the elemental spheres might succeed. They were created during the Mercian War. We took everything that lay Well, they took notice that if Lanus could die, so could the other now fading gods. If you want to know, Ivan's whole thing, he was based off of both Gambit and James Sunderland. Eventually, he would get the green jacket of James Sunderland and keep his ruby red eyes, which I really liked. And him having the more personality of the 90s Marvel's Gambit was more than enough. And the shield's bane of the shield would become a gauntlet, which I will explain later. You know too well that gods are not entirely immortal. Having the term immortality means you have the ability to live longer. Dying is still an important factor in that world, yes. Our given intention was to assure that another could be competent to take the place of another would arise. Then your plan has failed. I saw your book regarding the power restoration, meaning these guardians assigned the drained gods, blah blah blah. It wasn't soon after that the massacre took place. They forced the gods to cooperate, and Lord Samuel broke free of his seal. Then it was mere fate that we would cross paths. Fine, you are free to travel with us until departure. Ellen, it's perhaps best you give my cloak back before another decides you are working for the enemy. Luther, why do you bear the cloak when the colors represent Samuel? Because, Ellen, they were Lannis's colors as well. That's what her higher ranks used to represent on the battlefield. There's a secret tunnel that can lead us out of the Earth Tower. It's in the Archmage's quarters. Alright, let's go. Wow, I'm extremely underleveled. Come on. Stupid hands. I still think that even in later renditions I'm more badass than what he should be. Caterpillar player, whatever, really breaks the immersion. Ivan really does look like Gambit with this attire that he's wearing here. It's pretty funny. I'll talk! I've been saying it's a little cut off there, isn't it? Well, it still doesn't matter. Here's, Clayton's little hideout. They were an experiment. course, she's gonna make note of Clayton not being around. The woodland one. This was Clayton's own little sanctuary that I ended up making. Something reminiscent of Final Fantasy VI. Of course, I make a joke here that he's making apple wine. So I called it Shadow Gale. I don't know why I called it Shadow Gale. Of course, checking his notes, he talks about Lauren. I think that by now, it kind of developed and made everybody kind of aware of who Clayton was, giving very little information. I wanted to make Land Forest like another dungeon, but I wanted something where Clayton could have his own little spot, and whatever else. Of course, if you ever want to go back, let your Switch. Anyway. Knowing the strenuous things of traveling and what have you, I made it to where Ivan made it a little less painful. And I kind of kept that in because instead of substituting for like a Town Scroll or however, Town Portal, Scroll of Town Portal. I ended up just making something like that. I've been gathering a lot of crystals. Save it here. Okay, so I think I'm gonna end this episode here. I don't have much longer to go through, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a lot to be discussed. So stay tuned. Alrighty then. I got the sword. Otherwise, you would have to go back and get it. Which, of course, you had a chance to do that already, so. I don't know if people found, if people found the secret hidden away save point in this area. I'll go and demonstrate here real quick. Because as you went to explore, there was just this little alcove. Something to care about this wall. Looks like it might crumble. Did you find a secret passage? The cave spring is of an odd color, of course, referencing again to Final Fantasy III. So you're gonna drink it? Have you gone completely insane, Luther? What's the worst that can happen? Ellen's right, Luther, you could get sick. Well, I'm taking my chances. We won't know when another accessible source of water is to emerge in this cave. As expected, it's a healing spring. Fine, fine, we're both wrong. Are you happy? And of course, you have to go and probably heal here, because they didn't believe you at first. Small thing. Your save point. Yeah, this place was added, 2.0, all that. There's not a whole lot to explain in this area. There was this awesome music that kind of reminded me of Resident Evil 2, but of course, without me having to go and try and probably modify it, which I'm going to probably do, and re-implement it somewhere, it's on my list. It's on my list. As with anything else. One up, speed up, life up. Go ahead and save it here. I'm not gonna go through it. If you guys know about the dialogue here, it's in Gamma. We'll go through it soon enough. He has a healing spell on him if you want to know. And then despite Ellen more so becomes a healer. Mainly because now that you got Ivan in your party and he's a badass mage, oh no! Heal. I'm sure I'll have this squared off by the time Gamma really gets good footing. Damn! Did he just do that much damage? You're kidding. Intense battle! I love the music for this. Yeah, I kind of made that unnecessary move to be revamped, huh? So where he could actually heal himself and be like, Bizarre Energy! Run Palm 57. Oh my god, did that ever piss me off? Hi, Sam. Bizarro Energy. Oh, I hate you, Sephiroth, so much for doing that. 'Cause it's like you just got him just enough, and he's like, no, Bizarro Energy. How did this last form end up being so easy to do if that was the case? You know, that could be a question for another day though, huh? You could tell I'm an old school gamer just by talking about how Bizarro Sephiroth did what he did. Curse you, Bizarro Sephiroth! You and your one-winged angel form, which is like, what's it, 6 other wings. And your supernova attack. Was it supernova? I gotta replay Final Fantasy VII. But I'm really psyched for the remake. And this is where beta ends. So, I hope you enjoyed that little ride. For those that want to know, the next cycle of development, it is going to be Gamma. Woohoo! Yay for Gamma! Because that's when everything changed, and you're going to see the difference. I said to myself, if I'm going to make this into what it is, it's gotta transform, and it did.